go say hi. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Francisco Fibers. I am Jamie and this is Sophie. Hi Sophie. Hi. And this is a knitting and making podcast. And yeah, we're gonna go through some stuff. I've got my handy dandy notes and a nice little water, flavored water seltzer. Yeah, I know, mommy likes her water flavored. And we're gonna go through what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. All right, let's start. I have a special knit. She's giving me kisses on the arm. I have a special knit to share with you guys. When I started to learn how to knit again, it was October of 2022. And I took some classes from my local yarn store, and the first class I took from there was making this cowl. So you can see, I hope, that it is garter stitch, and then you have a 4x4 ribbing, and I have no idea what the pattern is. I tried to look it up on Ravelry. Like, I went to the lady that I took the classes from and looked on her Ravelry, and the closest thing I could find was a snood, and I will link it down below. But if that's what I was supposed to knit, then this is quite a bit shorter than that. Yes, so I can see so many of my mistakes in here, but again, this was like the first thing I knit this time around of learning to knit. I love the color, the nice chartreuse color, and it is very warm. The yarn has some alpaca in it, which is nice and warm, and it's soft. However, I may or may not be allergic to alpaca. So we will see. I'll rub this on me and we'll see. But last winter, every time I would go out in the cold, I would like get hives on my face, and it's either that I was allergic to how cold it was, or it's the alpaca in this yarn, because I was always wearing this. So I don't know. Still kind of testing that out. But I like to have that just to see how far I've come and what I've learned. So that's really fun to kind of keep your first project, keep your first thing around, so you can see your progress. I'm kind of looking, and I think maybe I could be a little closer. There we go. Still kind of learning setup around here. Okay, so with the first finished item that I am wearing, this is the Miles Tee by Ozetta, or Haley Smedley, and I will have some footage here to share. But it is so nice, and I'm so excited to have my first finished object of 2024. And this was on my Make 9 board, so I feel like I'm really cruising along and doing the most here. But this is made with Red Stag fiber in the color Welsh Mantle. I love it. It's such a nice brown color. It's a little variegated from darkers and lighter browns, but not by much. It's definitely a tonal, and I didn't have to alternate skeins or anything. Like, it always looked great. It didn't pool anywhere. It is beautiful. And I did take a class, kind of a class. It's more of a knit along. She didn't really teach us anything, but there's about 20 ladies. We would get together. We got together twice on this project and worked on it, was there to help each other if something came up or whatever. So that's really nice. So I did have some issues with gauge with this sweater. I am a fairly tight knitter. So when I was doing my swatching, I ended up going up 2 needle sizes from a US 4 to US 6, which is a 3.5 millimeter to a 4 millimeter. And my gauge was still off. I didn't want to go up any more needle sizes because I felt like the fabric was already loose enough. Like, it's very loose, it's very drapey, but it's not see-through. So I didn't want to go up another needle size. So what I did was I did some little knitting math. I will kind of put it over here as I talk about it, but make sure I say it right. So what you do is you take your gauge and you divide it by the gauge of the pattern, and that will give you Y. Then you take Y and times it by your bust measurement, and that will equal the bust measurement that you need to knit to fit your bust. So in my case, I took 26, divided it by 24, which equaled 1.08, and I times that by my bust, which is 39 inches, and that gave me 42.25 inches, which told me that I needed to knit the size that corresponded with a 42.2 inch bust, which ended up being, I think, size 5. Size 5. So that is what I did. I bought 3 skeins of yarn for this tee, which is what the pattern said I needed. I only ended up using 2 of those. So I have an entire skein left over, which I'm not mad about. I can definitely use it in something else. But yeah, just so you know. I did learn a lot from knitting this tee. I should open this water because my voice is already going. What was that? She says. What was that? It's okay. It's okay. So this was my first drop shoulder shirt, tee, sweater construction that I've ever done, and I really liked it. So you started with the eyelets on the back, and then you pick up the shoulder here, and then you connect the shoulder and knit the front down a little bit until you can connect in the round, and then you knit the rest of the body and then pick up for the sleeves. So it was a very different construction than I've ever done before. I've always done a round yoke or a raglan. Of those two, I prefer the raglan, but I really like the way this fits and sits on my body. So I definitely think I will do more of a drop shoulder. I'd like to try some others. Yeah, I really do like it. All right, my second finished project is I made a drawstring bag. So I remember my zipper bag that didn't work and I put a snap in it. This was what I wanted to make instead. So this is, I have the pattern for it, but it is called Drawstring Bag, and it is by Sotak, S-O-T-A-K patterns off of Etsy. I will link it down below. I did the quilted form of this, and I bought, my material is the Woodland and Wildflower, and I got a mini charm pack, and then I got some corresponding fabric for the inside, which is very pretty. I love these orange neutral colors. It's very pretty. And then it just has a simple drawstring on the top, and it's really cute. I really like it. Actually, I like it so much that I am making another one as a gift for someone. Won't say because they might watch this. They might not, because I don't think they know I'm making these yet. But as soon as they figure it out, they will watch. So I'm not going to talk about it. The fabric was by Moda, so it's a Moda fabric. It's, again, called the Woodland and Wildflowers. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite materials that I've found. So in that bag, we have our first half-finished object. I have a finished sock. Ha! There it is. So, and then I have half a sock. So I am on the ankle of the next sock. There we go. So it is coming along. They're kind of a funny looking sock until you get them finished and on your feet, because they are 2x2 rib. So for this sock, I'm trying to figure out the best fit for my feet, and it has been a challenge. Last month I made the Tenderfoot sock, and you start at the toe and work your way increases up till you can fit it over your pinky toe. Then you know what you are in the round. And there ended up being 0 positive ease or 0 negative ease on the foot, and there was plenty of positive ease on the ankle. They're great for sleeping in, not good for anything else. So I'm still trying to figure it out. So I decided for this pair of socks, I am using the toe and heel leftover from January's socks. And then this one is, well, the January socks, which is a fiber club for Farmer's Daughter Sock Squad. And so I'm trying to make socks every month with that material. And since I didn't have February's socks yet, I decided to go ahead and use some leftover yarn that I had. This is Savvy Skeins, and it's one of her club colors from 2023. Yeah. And I actually used it to tie a quilt for my son. It matched perfectly with his quilt top. So I used what I had left over. And these fit really well. So what I did was I did the Tenderfoot toe, and I increased to 60 stitches, and then I went into a 2x2, 2x2, and then when I got up here, I did my heel from Andrea Mowry's DRK Everyday sock, and her socks are 2x2 ribs, so really it's just the toe, because I don't like the Turkish cast on that she does in hers. I really do like the toe and increases that the Tenderfoot used. So I did the toe from that, and everything else is DRK Everyday sock. So it's like the exact same count, I think. No. Last month's socks were 62 stitches. These are 60, and then they're 2x2 ribbed. And they fit really well. So I just need to finish the other one, and I'll have a good pair of socks. I think my next pair of socks, I will need to go down to like a 58 stitch if I'm going to not ribbit. Ribbit, like a frog. No, ribbit. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know. We'll have to see what comes next. Okay, so my first WIP, work in progress, is, here we go. One you have seen before. This is my Felix. We started out with our Felix in a different color. We got rid of it because it was not working out for us because of the yarn. And so we started this one. Now, as you can see from our little cutout here, it is still not long enough, but it's getting close to when I want to change to ribbing. So I decided to knit this out of the Malabrigo worsted, and it is in the color Burgundy. I think it's a beautiful color, and every time my husband walks into my office or my craft room and sees it, he comments on what a pretty color it is. So I do love the color, and then I'm using a needle size of 10 or 6 millimeter, and I'm making the size 3. And it is really pretty, and I hope to get more done on it. I haven't worked much on it because I was working on this one. I'm not a monogamous knitter, but I tend to get like going on one project and sticking to it and not working too much on others. So I really was working on the shirt and the socks. Now that this shirt is done, the Felix will definitely become like priority, and then socks as a secondary. So, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm like out of breath. I'm not used to talking. I'm usually home alone. So I'm glad you came to visit me today. So, my other whip, or sort of whip, is the Easy V by Caitlin Hunter. All right, so this is the Easy V. We've talked about it a little bit, and I am spinning for the color work, and I may spin for the entire shirt. We are still on the fence about that, and we'll talk about that. So this is our first color and our second color. Those are pretty much set in stone, solid, right here. We're wondering about the third color, and I did go ahead and spin up this one. It's the Will-O-The-Wisp September 23rd Hello Yarn Club, and it does have like some of the same purples and browns in it, and so it might work really well. It gets pretty blue, but I think it might work. It might just happen. So, and if that's the case, then we're done spinning for the color work. Those were all spun with Hello Yarn monthly club subscription. But while I was in Provo last week, which is about a 45-minute drive south from where I am in Salt Lake, there's a yarn store, and I cannot remember the name of it right off the top of my head. I'll put it in this subscription, or I'll put it on the screen. But it's like one of the oldest yarn stores in the country. That's what I was told. I'll need to look that up. But they also have fiber and spinning wheels there. And so I ended up buying a pound of Jacob and half a pound of Shetland. And I came home and did a couple of kind of test spins. And actually this is my second test spin. This is the Jacob, and it's gray. Nice gray color, nice spin on it. But I ended up mixing in some merino because my first one was just way too scratchy. I wouldn't be able to wear it. So I mixed in the merino, and now it's definitely wearable. It's definitely wearable. It's still a little scratchy, but wearable. And then the Shetland that I bought, which is softer, and I did mix some merino in with this as well. I have a brown merino, like a pound of it. So I did mix that in. And so we have the Shetland. This one was definitely easier to spin, not easier to wind up here. My goodness, got a long tail. But it's really pretty as well. So kind of the question is do I want to spin that much yarn of a single color to put with my other yarns? Or am I going to get bored and not want to do that much? I don't know. So would it be safer to just go buy some worsted yarn to go with these? It might be. and that might be what I end up doing, but that is a decision I need to make this week. So I have my 3 colors. Do I want it with gray? Or do I want it with brown? I definitely wear more brown, and that would be more of a, that would be a darker, more moodier shirt. I kind of like the brown, to be honest. The gray is pretty too, though. I think either one would work. They're both really neutral, so I'm not sure. But that's how far I am on my Easy V. Okay. So that's all of my whips and finished projects. So, okay, got it. All right. So my next project that I want to cast on is, I don't know if I can pronounce this, so I will put it on the screen, but Stone Achlocker, I'm not sure how you say it, but it is this cute vest. It's got the cables in it, and which vests and cables are both on my Make 9 for this year. So I am really excited about this cast on. So I'm doing a swatch right now and it's working out. It's really looking good, and the gauge seems to be like right on. I mean, I haven't blocked it obviously, but so far the gauge is looking really good. So I have only ever done cables in a hat, never in a garment. So this would be my first garment cabled. So I'm really excited about it. This is the yarn I had in stash, which I don't have a very big stash. I tend to either use it or get rid of it. But this is Cascade 220 Sport, and it's in the color Moonbeam. And I'm swatching right now with the US 6, which the pattern does say they used. They're very, like, in their patterns, they don't even have a place where it says needles and size. They say like gauge and what they swatched with, but that you use the needles that make the gauge. They're very, very strict. They're very like on that, you know? So yes, I'm really excited about this knit. Really pretty. It's the first time I've ever followed a cable chart too, so it's taking me a minute to like read it, but I'm figuring it out. So I am excited about that. I'm excited to cast that on. So that will be a cast on for this week. All right, I do want to share this with you. So when we're talking about spinning, when we split our wool and spin it onto 2 separate bobbins, and then you take those bobbins and ply them together to make your yarn. You never split your yarn equally. Never. If you've done it, like, pat on the back, hooray, that is amazing, because I had never. I always end up with leftover fiber on one spool. So I took all my leftovers and I applied them all together and got this gorgeous yarn. Like, this yarn, I love it. It's gorgeous. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it has got to go into something because it is so pretty. So pretty. This is a mix of a whole bunch of things. This has like Targhee and Merino and Rambouillet and who else? Who knows what else in here. Very pretty. I love it. All right, I do have a couple of acquisitions, not accusations, acquisitions, a few things that I purchased. The first is when I bought my red stag fiber, did I talk about this last week? Maybe I talked about this last time, but I did end up buying some of the pine color on her clearance. I think I may have talked about this last week. It's really pretty, creamy, white, yellow color. It's very pretty. You think pine, you think green. I don't know why it's called, well, unless it's like pine wood. It probably is about the color of a pine wood. I'll take that. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I've thought about making another tee, and that could be really nice. Or I might save it and put it into my heirloom cardigan, our heirloom quilt cardigan, when I get to that project. So I do have that, and then my other big acquisition that came. So for Christmas, we always get a little bit of Christmas money from my in-laws. My husband's parents send us each $100 for Christmas. So I spent my $100 and put some of my own money into this needle case. I'll put where I bought it down below, but it is a beautiful leather case and it is gorgeous. I'm going to try to hold it up. And it holds so much. So I have like my DPNs over here, some yarn needles, some tapestry needles, and then I have my Hiya-Hiyas over here. I'm getting another set of Hiya-Hiyas for my birthday, so they'll go here. And then you can open it up and you've got 2 inserts that you can pull out. So we'll pull those out. So my goal with this case was to be able to put everything in it. Everything. So I have a pocket that I can put any like gauge, some try-it-on cabling, a measuring tape, like anything that you might need in here. And then you also have like this one that I have my Addi clicks here and their cords. So I have every knitting needle. I do have some knitting needles that are not interchangeable. What do you call those? In a different case, but I don't use them. I always use my interchangeables. And so everything I own is in this case. And I love that. I love that. It's beautiful. Love it. So, yeah. That was my Christmas present. And then I have my yarn that I did get for February's Farmer's Daughter Club yarn. And this month she sent 3 colors and I'm not 100% sure about them. So you have like this amethyst color and this citrine color and then like an aqua. So they were like based off gems. And this painting, let me show you. So every month her yarns are inspired by Jessica Rue illustrations. So this was this month. So you have the gemstones. So you have like the citrine and sorry, my camera turned off. So you have the citrine and the amethyst and probably the aquamarine up here is probably what they're based on. It's really good, but I worry about like the color work. There's not going to be much contrast. It could get muddy. And then a heel and toe. I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know. Maybe I'll just stripe them. I do have leftovers from January's. I could even put that in there and just stripe it. I don't know. I don't know. So if you have any ideas, let me know down in the comments. All right. So my goals for the week before I see you next time, I have a couple of goals. So my first goal is to finish my socks. I am going to Topgolf with my husband on a date tomorrow. Like we do a day date while our kids are in school. And so I will take them with me to knit there, and I'll probably get a lot done. I golf for so long and then I start to feel it and to get sore, and my husband can go a little longer than I do, so I'll just sit there and knit while he finishes the rounds, because you can go for like 2 hours or something, and that's just a little long for me. So I want to finish my socks, and then I want to finish the body and one sleeve of the Felix by next week. If I could finish the Felix as well this week, that would be awesome. Finish my socks and my Felix. That would be really awesome. I don't know if that's going to happen, but at least finish the body, one sleeve. Then I do want to start my vest from Kate Davies, and I want to figure out what I'm doing with the Easy V. Like, I really would like to get it figured out and to swatch. So I might just go buy some brown worsted weight yarn. It would be easier. And then I can just keep playing with fun colors while I spin. Anyways, so that's my goals for knitting. I don't really have any spinning goals right now. I will get my club colors soon, so I'll see what I get. I think I'll probably just purchase yarn for the Easy V. And then I just wanted to add like a little thing at the end here of anything I'm listening to or watching or playing. Just other stuff, that I'm a real life human and I do more than knit. So I'm listening to the Morbid podcast. It's a true crime podcast. They have like over 500 episodes. So I'm like way back there in the 100s to 200s. So I've got a long way to go before I'm like caught up with them. And I'm not really listening to any books or anything because I just love listening to Elena and Ashley's banter, and their voices are just really nice. And so I end up just listening to them and not going to any other books or anything. So I'm not really listening to any books right now. So Morbid podcast. What am I playing? So I do like to play video games. I grew up with an NES and 2 brothers, so I do play video games. Right now, I'm playing Minecraft. Not because I love Minecraft, but because I have a 9-year-old boy and 11-year-old boy, and they think it is awesome when mom comes in and joins their game, and they can show off everything they've built and all their stuff and help me build something, and they love it. They think it's so cool, especially the 9-year-old. So I'm playing Minecraft. And then I am trying to finish up my Pikmin 4. I'm so close to being done with Pikmin 4. And I am waiting patiently for Final Fantasy VII. Waiting patiently. It comes out at the end of the month. So my birthday is February 22nd, so it will be my like video game birthday purchase. Doesn't come out till the 29th, but I'm very excited. And then, as I said, I'm going to Topgolf with my husband. I'm going to bring my socks, and then I desperately need to organize, clean up, straighten my craft room. It's just a little crowded in there. And since it's the room that I do spend the most time in, it just needs to get a little more organized. Easier said than done. So I hope you guys liked this podcast. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and the like button, thumbs up. Give me a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you're doing. Give me suggestion for socks, because I'm just not sure. And then what else? Oh, subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm here at least twice a month. I'm here. Sophie's here too. She's passed out. Sophie, who passed out? She likes to lay on the yarn. She's laying on the yarn. But she's here too. So come say hi to her as well. And yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome week and that you find time to do whatever makes you happy, whatever helps you to unwind and to feel good about life. Make something pretty or make something ugly. I don't care, as long as you're happy and like it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye! Are you just gonna sleep on my yarn all afternoon? You don't want to say goodbye to the people? You should say goodbye to the people. I'm gonna pick you up. Are you gonna growl? Oh, bye people. Bye people. Bye. I was sleeping on the yarn. Bye people. I need a haircut.